Okay. Chapter 6, Lesson 4, slope-intercept form. Take a minute, write some stuff down. Yeah, I'm gonna get a drink. Hello. Blue on blue. Hard to read. Excuse me. Alright. Oh, whoops. Okay, be right back. Got to grab something to write with. Alright, so how can we use slope-intercept form to graph a line? Question mark. So our y-intercept, that's the only part that's really new today, is the point where the graph of the line crosses the y-axis. So that's what intercept means. Okay, slope-intercept form is an equation written in the form y equals mx plus b, where the letter m is the slope, which we talked about this week, and b is the y-intercept, which is the part that's new. Okay? So that's what we're doing today. We're looking at this equation, y equals mx plus b, your new favorite equation that everybody knows about. You can ask your parents and say, hey, you know y equals mx plus b, and then they'll have like bad flashbacks to when they took algebra in high school. Alright, so what we're going to do, I'm going to start off nice and easy. We're going to take a couple of equations and we're just going to find the slope and y-intercept for each one. How many examples are there? 2, but the first example has 3 parts to it. So maybe 4, depending on how you think about it. Alright, so slope. Actually, let me write this down again. Y equals mx plus b. Okay. And this m, that's our slope. So it's always going to be the number multiplied by x. And b is our y-intercept. That's always the number added at the end. It's going to be all by itself. Okay. So if I look over here, y equals, so that's what's important. It needs to start with y equals, which it does. And then we say, what number is being multiplied by x? And that's negative 1/3. You can say that's our slope. And what is our y-intercept? Is this number being added at the end? Whoops. Not what is 4, but that represents our y-intercept. Okay, so we can say our answer, slope equals negative 1/3, and our y-intercept equals positive 4. Okay, and that's all we're doing here. Okay, for second example, y equals negative 8x minus 6. So we throw some more negative signs in here. That's okay. The slope is just what's being multiplied by x. In this case is negative 8. So we can say slope negative 8. Let m. Now the only part you're going to mess up on, maybe, is our y-intercept is everything at the end. Okay? So our y-intercept is not just 6, it is negative 6. We say it again and again, there's no difference between a minus and a negative. So our y-intercept is negative 6. And that's the answer for the second one. And the third one's even easier. Gotta try to throw you off. Because you're like, hey, this doesn't say y equals mx plus b, it's just got one number. Well, this first number, that has to be our slope. Slope equals 2/3, right? Just whatever's times x. And then our y-intercept should be right here, but there's nothing there. Oops. So if there's nothing there, well, what can we add to it? We can say, what if we added 0 to our equation? The value of our equation didn't change, but now we have a plus or minus at the end, so we can say our y-intercept, if nothing is written, equals 0. And that's it. Halfway done. Alright. So on the back, the second part of the notes, you can use slope-intercept form to graph a line. First you graph the y-intercept, then use slope as excuse me, rise of a run to graph additional points. I wonder, I copy these word for word. Miss Geyer, she does all the hard work. Here it says you, but earlier it said we. So why is it she's abandoned us? Helping us before, but now we have to do this all on our own? I wonder. Seems like it's not buffering as much. I don't know. Let me know in the people watching if it seems to be a little bit smoother today. Just messing with my settings. Alright, so that should be enough time to try stuff down. So let's do some work. There's there's 3 examples. I lied to that kid earlier. Okay, example 2. What if y equals 1/2 x plus 3? So I want to graph this equation. So I made myself a little grid here. You can make yourself a grid. Okay. And then it says the first thing we want to do is we want to plot our y-intercept. That's where it crosses the y-axis. Okay. And it crosses at a positive 3. So I'm just going to go up to 0, positive 3. So that's our y-intercept. And then we're going to use the slope to get our extra points. The slope is 1/2. And we can say that's rise over run equals 1/2. I'm going to say from here, if I go up 1 and over 2, then I can put another point right here. It's just like the opposite of what we did today. Instead of finding the slope by using 2 points, we're using the slope to find 2 points. And then I can do it again. I can go from here, I can go up 1 and over 2. I can plot another point. And I can keep going. I can go up 1, over 2 again. I can go up 1, over 2 again. So on and so on forever. If I want to go the other way, we could do the same thing, only the order would just be in reverse. So instead of going up and to the right, I would go down and 2 to the left. And if we do this correctly, this should make a perfectly straight line. And there it is. Okay, so we start with our y-intercept, and then we just use the slope to count spaces. We're ready for algebra. Alright, so what if... Alright, so we have y equals negative 4x minus 2. Another equation. So this time our slope is negative, which means our line should be going down instead of up. Like last time slope was 1/2. Positive. Line went uphill. Now it's negative 4, should be going down. Again, we start with our y-intercept. It's negative 2. So we're going to start by going down to 0, negative 2. And then if m rise, overrun, that's going to be negative 4. And this isn't a fraction, but any whole number can be written as a fraction by putting 1 under it. Or integers, as the case here, because it's negative. No positive whole numbers. Or there's no negative whole numbers, rather. So from here, I'm going to go 4 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And over by 1. And then we can do it again. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4 down. And 1 over. And that's our slope of negative 4. Plot that one. And your lines might not be perfect. I want to get like a ruler. A bit skinnier. Okay. And then the same thing we did here. Instead of going up and to the right, we say we do the opposite, go down and to the left. We can do the same thing if it's negative. So instead of going down and to the right, we can just follow the opposite steps and go up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And to the left 1. And if we already made that line, any additional points we make should also fit on that line. Like if I kept going, even though I didn't number it this far, 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and 1 over. And that appears, if I extended my line, like it would continue that pattern. Okay, so same as yesterday, just a lot of counting, left, right, up, and down. That was quick. Now all these people are watching to do something, right? Don't forget your summary. Slope, intercept, form. Let's say is. Start off that sentence. Is what? Fill in the blank. Or for bonus points, you can fill in the blank in the chat here. What about slope-intercept form? And then our question. So the back side of the paper was all about using slope-intercept form to graph things. And our front half was about identifying slope and intercept. Should have one question on the front about identifying slope and y-intercept, and something about the back about how that relates to graphing equations. Okay. Do you know the way? Am I missing some internet joke? Look this up. Oh, it's the knuckle thing. I think I've seen this picture. Oh, VR chat. I've also been hearing about. Not seen that funny. But you kids are not very funny. And I say, yes, I know the way. I probably could say that. Oh, pretty boys, too late. Hit that rewind button. Run out of time to get that extra credit, or I lose interest and log out. Or how about, what if we say in the comments below, we actually use that for something productive. So down in the comments, instead of leaving hateful things about each other, you write out a well thought out summary of what the notes were about. Okay? Alright. Have a good afternoon.